Cosmic Outlaw, the legend of Roan Hale in a galaxy ruled by unbreakable codes and cold machines. One man discovered the most dangerous algorithm of all, Defiance. Part 3. The night the forest claimed him as the twin suns dipped low, bleeding the sky in rivers of crimson and gold that set the treetops ablaze. Kane's enforcers came for Roan. They arrived at his cabin with all the swagger of men who believed powered armor and numbers made them gods. 6 of them, in Syndicate black exosuits, servos whining softly with every step, heavy boots thudding on the wooden porch like the heartbeat of approaching doom. Their leader, a thick-necked sergeant with a scarred visor and a permanent sneer, kicked the door open without warning. Wood splintered with a sharp, violent crack that shattered the peaceful evening hush, embers scattering from the hearth in a hot orange shower that hissed against the floorboards and stung the air with sudden smoke. The cabin's warm interior filled with the comforting scent of roasting herbs, fresh split pine, and the faint smoky sweetness of the fire was instantly violated by cold menace. Firelight danced wildly on polished armor plates, casting long, jagged shadows across rough-hewn walls. Stunner batons glowed an ominous blue at their hips, humming with restrained power. "Roan Hale," the sergeant barked, voice dripping oily contempt as his men fanned out with deliberate, theatrical slowness. Seats puffed, shoulders squared, hands resting casually on weapon grips to savor the moment of dominance. "You're under arrest for poaching a protected stag on open land. Fine is 5,000 credits payable now, or you come with us quiet-like." Roan stood calmly by the hearth, flames crackling softly behind him, casting a warm glow on his face that highlighted the steady resolve in his gray-green eyes. The scent of dinner still lingered comforting in the air, the simple meal almost ready. He met their gaze one by one and hurried, unafraid. "That stag was taken on free ground," he said evenly, voice carrying the quiet authority of a man who knew truth when he spoke it, a faint smile touching his lips like a challenge. "Everyone saw the tournament today. You know this charge is false." The sergeant's lip curled higher, outrage flashing hot in his eyes at being questioned by a mere forester. His men shifted with indignant snarls, armor clanking. "You dare call the sheriff's law a lie?" one growled, stepping closer with deliberate menace, baton humming louder in open threat, visor reflecting the fire like burning coals. "Think that little arrow trick makes you a hero now? You're just backwoods scum. Pay up, or learn respect the hard way." Another spat on the floorboards, voice thick with scorn. "We'll drag you through Lockhaven in chains, parade you for the crowds. Refuse again, and we'll make sure the lesson sticks. Broken bones heal slow." Roan's hand rested near his bow, leaning innocent against the wall. His voice stayed calm, but a glint of Errol Flynn mischief sparked in his eyes, staring almost playful beneath the steel. "I respect justice, not thieves wearing badges. And if it's a lesson you want, come teach it." Outrage detonated like a grenade. "Take him down," the sergeant roared, face twisting into a purple mask of fury to match Kane's earlier rage. They charged as one, heavy boots thundering across floorboards like rolling thunder, stunners crackling blue arcs of death through air suddenly thick with smoke and fury. Roan moved like swashbuckling lightning, years of forest grace and quick wit turning every motion into a dance of defiance. He dodged the first bolt with a fluid twist, heat grazing his shoulder like a lover's burning kiss gone wrong, fabric smoking and skin stinging sharp. In the same breath, he snatched his bow and swung it like a quarterstaff would, cracking hard against the armored helmet with a satisfying, ringing thud that sent the guard staggering. Visor spider-webbing, a second enforcer lunged, baton whistling. Roan parried with boastive, sparks flying where energy met wood, the impact jarring up arms like hammer on anvil. He spun Laurel Flynn flare in every turn, hooked the man's ankle with his own boot, sending 300 pounds of armored bulk crashing into the hearth, where embers exploded in a hot orange storm that stung eyes and filled the cabin with choking sparks. Fists flew in brutal symphony, grunts and curses filling the small space, furniture splintering under armored weight like dry kindling. One enforcer's stunner caught Roan's side, white hot agony exploding like plasma fire ants biting deep into muscle, body seizing for an agonizing heartbeat that tasted of copper blood and raw fury. But Roan laughed through the pain, a wild, defiant sound as he drove elbow into throat arm and rolled free, came up with knife from boot and flashing arc that sliced restraining cable from a guard's belt. The fight was pure chaos and glory, wood smoke thick in lungs, sweat stinging eyes, blood hot on lip, heart roaring like twin suns at zenith. Roan fought with joyous recklessness, duck, spin, strike, taunt, always one step ahead, using the cabin's tight space against their bulk, turning their power into clumsiness. One guard went down hard, helmet cracked, groaning dazed amid scattered embers. Another's baton whistled past ear close enough to feel wind shear hair. Roan broke free through the back door in a burst of motion, arrow knocked and loosed in single fluid grace. Thunk, embedding inches from the sergeant's head in a tree trunk, feathers quivering in warning. Then he ran swashbuckling flight into the darkening forest. Heart hammered war drums in chest, Breath came in great heaving gasps that burned lungs raw from smoke and exertion. Branches whipped face with stinging lashes, drawing thin, hot lines of blood that trickled warm down cheeks, mixing with sweat that tasted salt and iron. Mud sucked greedily at boots with wet, hungry sounds. Roots reached like grasping fingers to trip, but Roan vaulted fallen logs with acrobatic grace, slid down moss-slick embankments on heels, splashed through ice-cold streams that shocked skin awake and washed blood away in pink swirls. The forest embraced him, branches closing protective behind like loyal comrades. Night sounds rising in defiant chorus to mask his passage. Avian cries sharp and mocking, leaves rustling secrets. Resin scent stronger now in cool mist that rose from ground like welcoming breath. Miles fell away beneath flying feet, cabin fading to distant memory, pain inside throbbing with every bound yet fueling the fire. And as twin moons rose silver through canopy, realizations settled, not heavy despair, but bright, burning clarity. Comm towers blanketed the planet of resettlement, linked. Every drone broadcasting an endless loop, wanted Roan Hale outlaw, dead or alive, dead if they could manage it. No trial, no mercy. Every square inch under their reach now enemy ground. But the Sherwood expanse was vast, wild, untamed, and Roan Hale laughing still. Through blood and breath was no longer just a forester, he was free. Truly, dangerously free. The Syndicate had made their move. Now the forest would answer.